As always, hey everyone, hope you all are doing great. In this video, I will be listing top 5 manga that will leave an impact on you, that you should read. Number 5 Monster. Set in 1986 Germany, the Monster anime tells the story of Dr. Kenzo Tenma, a talented surgeon working at Eisler Memorial Hospital. After saving the life of a young boy named Johann, who was shot in the head, Tenma's life takes a dark turn. When the director of the hospital orders him to operate on the mayor instead of Johann, Tenma defies his orders and saves the boy's life. However, shortly afterward, a string of murders occurs, and Johann becomes the prime suspect. Tenma soon realizes that Johann is not just a boy but a psychopath with a sinister plan to create a new world order. As the story unfolds, Tenma sets out on a quest to stop Johann and uncovers a web of conspiracies and corruption. Along the way, he meets a range of intriguing characters, including Eva Heinemann, the daughter of the director of the hospital, and Inspector Lunge, a detective obsessed with capturing Johann. The character designs are realistic, and the backgrounds are intricately detailed, creating a sense of immersion in the world of the story. The animation quality is excellent, with smooth movements and attention to detail in the action scenes. One of the most impressive aspects of the visuals in Monster is the use of cinematography and direction to create tension and suspense. The camera angles and lighting are used to heighten the atmosphere of each scene, creating a sense of unease and foreboding. Overall, the visuals and animation in Monster are exceptional, contributing to the series' unique style and adding to its impact as a psychological thriller. Number 4 20th Century Boy. As the 20th century approaches its end, people all over the world are anxious that the world is changing. And probably not for the better. Kenji Endo is a normal convenience store manager who's just trying to get by. But when he learns that one of his old friends going by the name, Donkey, has suddenly committed suicide, and that a new cult led by a figure known as Friend is becoming more notorious, Kenji starts to feel that something isn't right. With a few key clues left behind by his deceased friend, Kenji realizes that this cult is much more than he ever thought it would be. Not only is this mysterious organization directly targeting him and his childhood friends, but the whole world also faces a grave danger that only the friends have the key to stop. Speaking of idiosyncrasies, 20th Century Boys is undoubtedly one of Urasawa's most personal stories. While Monster is arguably just as much a masterpiece, there are so many parts of Urasawa's heart on display here that you can't help but feel a connection with him. Everything from the late 1960s setting when Urasawa grew up, the cultural references. Much of my own fascination with this period comes from this, and the music. Oh, the music. You can't forget about the music. Number 3 Vinland Saga. Young Thorfinn grew up listening to the stories of old sailors that had traveled the ocean and reached the place of legend, Vinland. It's said to be warm and fertile, a place where there would be no need for fighting, not at all like the frozen village in Iceland where he was born, and certainly not like his current life as a mercenary. War is his home now. Though his father once told him, "You have no enemies," nobody does. There is nobody who it's okay to hurt. As he grew, Thorfinn knew that nothing was further from the truth. The war between England and the Danes grows worse with each passing year. Death has become commonplace, and the Viking mercenaries are loving every moment of it. Allying with either side will cause a massive swing in the balance of power, and the Vikings are happy to make names for themselves and take any spoils they earn along the way. Among the chaos, Thorfinn must take his revenge and kill Askeladd, the man who murdered his father. The only paradise for the Vikings, it seems, is the era of war and death that rages on. The character development of Thorfinn from being an emotionless murderer to being a person who values his life and don't see anybody as his enemy anymore. Number 2 Vagabond. Growing up in 17th century Sengoku-era Japan, Shinmon Takezo is shunned by the local villagers as a devil child due to his wild and violent nature. Running away from home with a fellow boy at age 17, Takezo joins the Toyotomi army to fight the Tokugawa clan at the Battle of Sekigahara. However, the Tokugawa win a crushing victory, leading to nearly 300 years of shogunate rule. Takezo and his friend manage to survive the battle, and afterwards swear to do great things with their lives. But after their paths separate, Takezo becomes a wanted criminal, and must change his name and his nature in order to escape an ignoble death. Based on the book, Musashi, by Eiji Yoshikawa, Vagabond is a fictional retelling of the life of Miyamoto Musashi, often referred to as the Sword Saint, perhaps the most famous and successful of Japan's sword fighters. On top of that, this manga has some of the most incredible artwork you'll find. It's extraordinary that one person can have so much talent that he's able to write a compelling story and illustrate that same story at a top-tier level. Number 1 Berserk. Set in medieval Europe, a man named Guts, infamous for being birthed from a corpse, teams up with a group of mercenaries called the Band of the Hawk. He forms an especially strong bond of friendship with the group's leader, Griffith. The story follows Guts and Griffith through their friendship as they bring the Band of the Hawk from a lowly mercenary team into something much more powerful. However, power that great is not easily obtained. Sacrifices must be made in spirit and blood. Berserk holds two kinds of art, sorta like Elfen Lied, the animations and the still frames, which look like paintings. The still frames are wonderful, and the animation is fluid and detailed, but nothing really awe-inspiring. To save on their animation budget, however, there are numerous instances where they substitute animation for still frames, which can get annoying. The best manga of all time in my opinion goes to Berserk. I would appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So that's it for today's video. Thank you.